I'm pleased to introduce a friend and an esteemed alum, Veronika Moroian, who was the GM over at Univision LA, and is now an AI guru and expert who is going to be doing a workshop for you. Hopefully, by the time you're done, you'll be able to start your own AI-based companies. And like I said, I'll be submitting my resume when that happens. So Veronika, thank you so much for doing this. We really appreciate it. And please welcome Veronika.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me? Wow, that's loud. Good morning, and thank you for being here so bright and early. I think that by showing up, AI is affecting and impacting all aspects of our lives. You already have a competitive advantage. So let's go through. Can you see a present? It's there. Okay. So what we will cover today is the fundamentals of artificial intelligence. Then we will go deeper on Gen AI. We will see some use cases in media and entertainment. And last but not least, we'll have a look at the future. And I believe that we are living in a moment that is very special in the history of humankind, right? So artificial intelligence is changing history and the way we do things. So it's really important for us as leaders, as transformative leaders, to understand the AI technology to be able to help our companies and organizations. Let's get started. Are you ready? Let's do it. Okay, so first, why is the AI revolution happening now, right? Since the 1960s, the scientists have been trying to figure out how to make machines or systems to mimic how human intelligence works, right? And the AI innovation is comparable to the invention of the electricity or the phone or the computer or even the internet. But why is it happening now? There's 3 reasons, plus a 4th one. But so the 3 main reasons is first, that the machine learning, the software has gone so much better, has improved. The second one is that the hardware, right, the chips called GPUs, where AI is running, where the AI models run on, have improved. And you might have heard about NVIDIA, the manufacturer of the AI chips, the GPUs. And last but not least is the availability of data sets, big data, right, that the AI models can learn from. So these 3 factors combined are making the AI momentum happening right now. And I would add a 4th reason. The 4th reason is the release of ChatGPT to all of us, right? So we got to get hands-on with AI technology and see how it can help us when we study as a tutor. Is anyone using your ChatGPT or a Gen AI tool as tutor? If you are not, do it. It's fantastic. You know that I recently learned to code in Python, and I have my AI tutor who helps me, who teaches me, who corrects my code. It's fantastic. So to study, at work, or even, you know, that I use it to get ready to go and visit my doctor. So I ask my questions, I get the answers, then I have a very productive conversation with my doctors. So ChatGPT is a Gen AI tool. So let's get a little bit deeper in what Gen AI tools are. So there's a lot of acronym now in the AI world. These are the top 4 that we must know. AI. What is AI? AI is a field of computer science that studies how machines and systems can mimic the human intelligence. Hence, the name of artificial intelligence, right? Machine learning is a subfield or subset of artificial intelligence where machines or systems learn about the world through data. And they assume that understanding the data from the past will allow us to forecast the future. That's an assumption that machine learning systems use. What's deep learning? Deep learning is a subset of machine learning where the learning takes place mimicking how the human brain works, right? So deep learning has an architecture that has many layers, an input layer where the data comes in. Then it's a network with interconnected nodes, and the information is being passed from layer to layer and transformed. And finally, we have the output, and there is where the result is given to our answer or request. That's how deep learning works. And it's capable of handling bigger data sets and more complex requests. So Gen AI is a subset of deep learning, and that's the kind of technology that it uses. Make sense? So let's go deeper to how Gen AI models work. As I said before, we have the input that can be structured data, an Excel file, a CSV file, right? With rows and columns, very structured, or the input can also be unstructured, like text, video, images, right? So that input is used to train the model, like I just explained, through the layers, right? Once the model is trained, we measure the accuracy of the model. And once the accuracy is acceptable, we can start using the model, the AI model, and put it in production. And the way that we interact with Gen AI tools is through prompts. You might have heard about prompt engineering, right? So a big skill that it's really cool and trending and we should all have, which is the skill of how you ask a question from a Gen AI tool to get the best answer as a result, right? So the prompts is how we interact with our Gen AI tools, and the result can also be multimodal, have different formats. Can be text, can be an image, we can ask for a video to be created, or even code. As I said before, they are awesome at coding. So if you're into coding, just use your Gen AI tools. Make sense? So now let's take a quiz. And thank you for being here. It's like 30 of you. Let's see. Who can identify this logo? Which tool is that? Yes, ChatGPT. Who's the parent company? OpenAI, very nice. What's this next tool? Well, you know, that's easy, Gemini. Google, very nice. So the next one, Copilot that comes in your Windows in Microsoft. The next one, Perplexity, same parent company name. This one is called Claude from Anthropic. And this one was all over the news and broke our stock market. Do you remember this one? DeepSeek. So these are just 6 of the hundreds, if not thousands of Gen AI tools out there. So these are the trendy ones, I think. How many of you has at least one of these tools in your cell phone? 2? 3? Exactly, right? So we have them all, we play back and forth. I personally love my ChatGPT. I use the GPT-4o, and whenever I don't like the answer, I go to Gemini. That's my standard procedure. But yes, but I have them all. So speaking of having all these tools in our phones, this is just one slide, a synopsis of a big study that was conducted by Microsoft and LinkedIn, showing that last year was the year when Gen AI at work got real, and it rhymes. Basically, so a couple of things that are very interesting from this report, this study, was that most C-suite executives, they believe that they need AI to remain competitive, but the majority of them don't have a clue of where or how to start and don't have a plan. So this is where we come in play and can help them, right? So we have to first get skilled to go and help these companies. Then the other thing I found that's fascinating is that they prefer to hire a rookie executive with AI skills versus a senior executive. That's very eye-opening, right? And the third one is that a big majority of workers are taking our own Gen AI tools to work. Bring your own BYO AI. Bring your own AI to work. Yes, sounds funny, but it's true. And it's an exposure of safety, data, confidentiality. We have to be careful if we are running organizations and our team members are bringing their own AI and using the company information. But that's the trend, right? So we are using these Gen AI tools in everything and more things that we are doing. So the million-dollar question is AI a bubble? What do you think? Who thinks that AI is a bubble? No one. I agree. It's not. My answer to that is that the use cases are so great that it's not a bubble. So it's here to stay, and we are just starting. We are in baby steps, right? So this conference is about the media and entertainment and sports business. So let's have a look at some use cases in these industries. Sounds good? Let's do it. So has anyone seen the holiday advertising campaign of Coca-Cola? The holidays are coming? Yes? No? Okay. I will have some screenshots from those spots. I don't have the rights of playing those spots, but I posted them on my LinkedIn. So please follow me and go and watch them there. So this was the first time that a big brand had a fully AI-generated ad. Actually, was a series of 3 commercials as a campaign. So it was the holiday campaign that was released on November 18. And these are some of the screenshots. So let's see what you think. What do you think about this mousse? Looks nice, looks real. So the whole thing was AI generated, right? My personal opinion, I liked these 3 commercials, but I am biased, right? You know, that I'm focusing on AI. But the audience didn't really welcome the whole campaign, and we will understand why. But my opinion about having these animals AI generated, it's much easier and safer to generate a moose like this than chase a moose and take a picture or film it, right? So the next thing is this one. Does it look real, right? The Coca-Cola trucks, the Christmas tree. If we wanted to do a commercial shoot, it takes a lot of money, a helicopter, drones, the trucks, many tries, and this was AI generated and looks really real, nice. So the next thing that I screenshot is the family of polar bears watching TV. Even if we wanted to train these polar bears, we would have never got to this scene, right? So this needed some AI to happen. But then we have this scene that was the most controversial one, you know, and they had many scenes of humans, AI-generated people. And the audience, the consumers, did not like it, right? They felt that it was fake, and they felt that they could have used human actors, which I agree with, right? So the best AI solutions are those that have a collaboration of AI systems in what AI is good, the repetitive tasks, the difficult shoots, right? Like instead of torturing an animal, just make it AI generated. But then when we have talent and actors who can act in a commercial, I personally believe that a combination of AI and humans and actors would have been a much better outcome. So that's what I wrote in this synopsis, right? So the first ever AI-generated TV commercials. So the good thing is that they combined these commercials, the TV airing, with an online and social media with customer interaction through AI tools, a very nice 360 multi-platform campaign, very, very nicely done. It allowed Coca-Cola to link, to bridge their heritage brand with the future, with AI technology, very nicely done. But the challenge was that they had to use 3 AI studios, one for each commercial. That must not have been very cheap, right? So the whole goal of using AI tools is efficiency and lowering costs. I don't think, but we are in baby steps, right? So the brands are starting to test these technologies. That should and will change, I hope. And the challenging part was that I believe that they should have used human actors, like versus the AI-generated ones. Sounds good? So I have a question for the audience. Based on this experience of fully AI-generated spots, how many spots in the Super Bowl that came right after the holidays do you think were fully AI-generated? Any guess? 0. No, nada. No fully generated spots in the Super Bowl. They did use AI tools in different ways, right? So what happened, which was very interesting, the big AI companies, the major AI leaders, they aired old school traditional TV spots in the Super Bowl. So let's see if you recognize which, and once again, you know that I have posted links to these spots in my LinkedIn and go and watch them, but I have some screenshots. Who recognizes this commercial from the Super Bowl? Anybody? OpenAI, the first ever commercial of ChatGPT. I loved it. To me, it was the best commercial of the Super Bowl. And they walk us through, was a 60-second, a 1-minute commercial, which must have been very expensive to place at the Super Bowl. And it walked us through the innovations through history of humankind. So I think that was very nicely done. And of course, it ended up with a ChatGPT. And what can I do for you today? Right? So very nicely done. Let's see if you recognize this second commercial from another big AI player. Anyone? Exactly. I don't think yes, I didn't like this commercial. This commercial was with the three Chris's, Chris, and Kris Jenner, and was from Meta, the Ray-Ban AI glasses of Meta. And they had a sequence like a story of commercials. I don't think that was the best execution of an advertising campaign, my personal opinion. And this one I loved, it touched my heart, was for Gemini from Google, and was about a father who was using Gemini to get ready for a job interview, which I posted it too, and go and watch it. It's very emotional. And basically the father is saying that the best job that he ever had was being a father. So he is giving his recollection of being a father, his challenges, his goals, as answers for a job interview. A very nicely done commercial. So as I said before, so these big AI players had traditional commercials, no fully AI-generated commercials in the Super Bowl, but they did use AI tools for something different, for building and ideating the concept, for story building, for brainstorming. So, and that's how the ad agencies and the industry in general is currently using these AI tools. So let's go a little bit hands-on and see how we can use some of these AI tools. Sounds good? Sounds like a plan? Let's do it. So this is the first tool that I want to introduce, which is a great text-to-audio, text-to-speech tool, right? Called 11 Labs, and it's fantastic. And there's many rankings, and this is the tool that ad agencies are really using and prefer. So basically what I did here, I selected my language. So you have an option of getting the voice in different languages. I selected Spanish. I am from Argentina. I wanted to test how good the Spanish was. And I selected a voice called Julian or Julian, right? So, and then I wrote a prompt, a very simple prompt in Spanish, and let's see how it did.
Muy buenos días, mi querida audiencia. Gracias por sintonizarnos en el hermoso estado de Florida.
I think that he speaks Spanish better than me. I thought that that was impeccable, really. So it's scary, right? It's scary how good these tools are for certain things. So next, let's go to an image generation tool, a text-to-image. And there's many tools out there, right? So Gemini has the capability. Stability AI, that's a big AI player, has great tools. I am kind of sold on OpenAI. I am a fan. So I use the DAL-E that it's embedded in my ChatGPT. And actually, they updated the version, the tool they improved it a couple of weeks ago, and I really wanted to test it. So I wrote a simple prompt. Just give me a cute picture of the UCLA Bear mascot. As simple as that, first try. And this is what I got. And the prior versions would have mistyped UCLA. You know, like the worst part of the prior version was like the spelling wasn't there all the time. Now, this was my first try. It took literally 5 seconds to generate this cute bear. So great tool. And next, let's have a look at a video generation tool. So this is Sora, the video generation tool from OpenAI too. Once you log in at Sora, the website, that little icon that says Sora, it appears in your user interface of your ChatGPT. So from there on, you just go to your ChatGPT graphic user interface and open Sora. So Sora can handle a text to video, an image to video, and both, right? So you can upload a picture and put your prompt and generates the video. So what I did here, I asked my ChatGPT to write the prompt that I should use for Sora. And that's what I used, right? And then, so this is not the main menu. So this is the storyboard that I was speaking about that ad agencies use. And basically, you can sequence how the video is going to be rolling, and you can time, you can customize, you see the prompt for each sequence. And let's have a look. So this is a video that I generated for Valentine's, and literally, it took me less than 3 minutes. I think that it took me just 1 or 2 tries. Very, very fast. So let's see if you like it. I didn't have to program or code or anything. I just wrote the prompt, and it did it for me. A great tool. And then a couple of weeks ago, OpenAI and Sora, they hosted the first ever film festival in West Hollywood. They featured 11 short films that were produced with Sora. And Hollywood executives were in attendance, including big studios like Universal and Disney. So this is happening little by little, you know, but it's happening. So the big question is Hollywood ready for AI? Is Hollywood embracing AI, right? And the first answer that I would give is that AI is all over the news. So there's a lot happening like everywhere with AI, right? So on one hand, we have talent and actors, even film directors like James Cameron. He recently joined the board of Stability AI, which is one of the leading Gen AI tool maker. And he will be guiding the future development and the uses of the tools, right, to better serve the film industry. And that's not an exception. Actors and talents are joining these companies or making partnerships. On the other hand, we need some kind of copyright law, IP regulation, right? Because that's a big gray area at this moment. Is it fair to who owns content that was generated with AI? We don't have a black and white answer today to that yet, right? Or is it legal or right to train an AI model with copyrighted content? We don't have a black and white answer to that yet. But there is a lot of money to be made from training AI models. How did AI models get trained? So remember that slide that had the input, all the text, the data, the images, the videos. That input of the foundational models, like a ChatGPT, a Gemini, that input was the internet, was all the information and data that's publicly available. So the AI models have already learned from publicly available information, but they still make mistakes. Have you heard about hallucination, hallucinating? which is when AI models, they make up an answer, right? So they haven't been trained on that topic or that answer, so they make it up. So you have to be careful with believing the 100% of what you get from your ChatGPT. But that's happening based on lack of training on that topic. So the way of improving these AI models is by training them on new content. And the new content needs to be licensed. And this is a completely new revenue stream that's starting for the industry, right? For entertainment, for the studios, to license content for AI training. So some big AI players like OpenAI or Google have started to sign licensing deals with the big studios to use the movies, to use the TV shows to train AI, right? So AI is great at generating text. It's good at generating image, but video still has a room to go. And the way of closing this gap for video is to train the models with more video. And that's the licensing deals that are being signed. What's happening with the little content owners, right? So the big studios and OpenAI has the time to sit down with Universal or Disney and sign a deal. But they don't really have the time to sit down with every little streamer whose content might be helpful and sign individual deals. So what's happening is that these little or smaller content owners are getting together with aggregators, that's how they call it, which are new companies that are standardizing all this content from different streamers or sources and are standardizing the structure, the pricing, and making it available as a one-stop shop to the AI companies for them to use them for training. So there's a big new revenue stream that's starting in the industry, which I believe that it's much needed, right? So like certain revenue lines are dying and new revenue streams are coming up thanks to AI. So that's what's coming in the future. So what else is coming in the future? Let's have a look. Does anyone recognize this gentleman that I admire so much? Does anyone know who this person is? Anybody? Okay, it's the founder of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, right? So NVIDIA, the company that makes the AI chips, the GPUs, and his name is Jensen Huang. I believe that it's one of the most visionary people of our time, right? So he saw it coming. So NVIDIA started as a computer graphics company. And he was visionary enough to shift this company and lead the AI wave. I think that this AI revolution would not have happened without the NVIDIA chips. That's how impactful his contribution was. So if I will leave you with just one piece of advice today is go to YouTube, look for Jensen Huang, and watch his conferences and interviews. It's the best AI school you can find. He's very clear, very visionary, a very great communicator. So the best AI school is Jensen Huang and UCLA too, of course. So basically, I love this slide from his last conference because it simplifies where we are with AI and where we are going, right? So basically, we covered the generative AI today, right? So the Gen AI models, they need a prompt for the model to respond to our request, right? So the next evolution is the agents. And you might have heard about the AI agents, right? So the AI agents, they act on our behalf without the need of a prompt. So basically, an AI agent that's trained for certain things can book a flight for us without us to go and tell the agent to do that for us, right? So you know that it's about how we train that agent and what we trained that agent for. So basically, the AI agents, they operate in our computer, in our system. And the next evolution that's happening too is physical AI. So physical AI are the robots, the Waymos that interact physically in our world, in our environment. And you might have seen the cute little robots that are all over the UCLA campus, like delivering food, right? That's physical AI. So it's shown as the future, but it's happening, you know? We are in early stages, in baby steps of this happening already. So that's what's coming for the future. We are going to transition from a business to consumer, a B2C to a B2B, a business to business. As organizations are starting to get ready, the infrastructure for AI ready, and this is where we as leaders come in and can help them embrace AI in this transition to B2B. And then I had to mention AGI, artificial general intelligence. That's when machines are as smart as humans. I believe that we are still, like scientists, they don't agree if it's happening next year, in 5 years, or in 50 years. There's different versions. I think that we have a while still. And the next evolution is the superintelligence, which is machines that are smarter than humans. That's after the AGI. I think that it's a very far gray area for now. At the end of the day, AI is computer software and hardware that does things that we ask them to do. So we have to make sure that the government, that the governance is there, that the guardrails are there. But I think that we have a while until we get to AGI or ASI. In the meantime, as leaders, as transformational leaders at UCLA, let's lead the AI change. Let's lead the change with AI. And please follow me on LinkedIn. I have a newsletter. I try to simplify all these AI things in everyday. Actually, the name of my newsletter is Everyday AI. I try to simplify this concept. Please follow me. I'm planning to stay through this conference. So please stop by and say hello, and hope this was good, and enjoy the conference. And thank you very much.